Hello everyone, my name is Irina. Today I want to tell you about the raglan sleeve. This dress can serve as an example. The raglan sleeves are often made in the outer clothes. They are classical. I work with this design very often, so I want to tell you about it. This is a book, 60 Years of Max Mara. I bought it on the Max Mara exhibition in Moscow. You can see a coat with a raglan sleeve. I show you this particular picture because the form is clearly seen due to the piping. This is what we're going to talk about today. I'll show you how to design it on the basis of the basic pattern. Correct designing ensures a perfect fit for anybody. You can see how perfectly the sleeves fit the dummy. Such sleeves are very comfortable. Here I have a basic pattern of the bodice and the sleeve, designed according to my measurements. I've designed it on the basis of my 10 measurement system. Today I'll show you how to change the basic pattern into a pattern with a raglan sleeve, and then I'll show you a finished item. I put a tracing paper here in order to transfer the patterns. Have a look here. Now I'll draw a front, a back and a sleeve. I want you to understand how to do it. The pattern is very accurate, so I just transfer it without thinking too long. I drew the back, and now I'm going to draw the front. I don't change anything, because the pattern is perfect. I don't need to measure anything. What is good about this system is that the chest tag is designed applying the residual method. That means that everyone has her own measurements used. Have a look here. I've transferred the front and the back. Now I need to draw a sleeve. I transfer the sleeve, marking the top of it. Here it is. Do not forget to sign the front, otherwise you won't be able to find it later. Here it is. Here I have the front, the back and the sleeve. You can see that this is a sewn-in sleeve. I'll cut all the details out and show you how to design the raglan sleeve. It's amazing that we can just cut without measuring anything again. Notice that the side seam doesn't match on the hips. That means that my hips are smaller than the chest. I finished cutting the front and the back. I do it to straighten the paper. I'll move the basic pattern aside, leaving the back, the front, and the sleeve in front of me. Now be very attentive. I'll tell you thoroughly how to change this pattern into this dress. We're making a silk blouse with a raglan sleeve. The neckline will be round. Now I'll cut all the extra pieces off the pattern. First of all, I'll make a sleeve shorter. The summer is on, so I don't need a long sleeve. I need to adjust this place, but I have a tuck here. What should I do? I move the tuck to the center front for now. I'm telling you once again that I do it temporarily, so that I don't have a tuck here and I can work with this place. I stick it with the duct tape. This is the back. I move the shoulder tuck to the neckline. I do it in order to have less problems when designing a raglan sleeve. A raglan sleeve and the shoulder tuck are incompatible. This is the beginning of a shoulder, these 2 points. I want to open the shoulder for about 5 centimeters, so I put the marks here. Have a look here. The blouse will start not here, but on this place. I also want to deepen it for 10 centimeters at the front. It's not really a low neckline, so I will still feel comfortable in it. I also open the back a bit. The neckline is almost ready. Notice that the shoulders are narrower now, because of the fact that we changed the neckline. Now I take a sleeve, I fold it in half according to this point. Now I make a cut, which is 1 centimeter wide and 7 or 8 centimeters long. And then I cut till the very end. Now I have 2 halves instead of the sewn-in sleeve. I'll explain why I cut 2 centimeters off here. When we make a usual sleeve, we need the space for the closed fit, which we don't need here. I attach the front piece to the front and the back to the back. Have a look here. I attach the sleeve to an armhole. This is the shoulder, and this is the middle of the sleeve. You should attach it in such a way that the openings are even on both sides. I stick it here, I stick it here, and you can see that the openings are more or less even. Now do the same thing with the other half. Now I take a marker pen and mark the point where the sleeve crosses the item itself. Now I can design a raglan from this point. The raglan can be different. It can be narrower. It can turn into a yoke. It can be wider. The line can be more round. In this case, I make a usual raglan. You can see that the raglan in this dress is pretty wide. It's because we didn't have much fabric for the item. So we had to adjust it. It's absolutely okay. Have a look at the back. The sleeve here turns into a yoke. Such technique is also pretty popular. I drew a raglan on the front, and now I need to draw it on the back. I mark this point again and draw a line from it. This is the back part of the sleeve, and this is the front part. This is the back, this is the front. I don't need a tuck on the center front now, so I move it to the side seam. A tuck on the side seam is usual for such design. Have a look here. I have the front and the back in front of me. Notice that we should always mark the waistline. No matter what we do, these points should match. Now I take the sleeve and I put it on a tracing paper. You can see that there's a sharp angle here, so I just make it smooth. I can throw this piece away. Now I transfer the back part. I sign everything. The front. You can see that I change all the angles, making them smooth. Assign this part too. You won't lose or confuse anything now. You don't have to do it if you have much of an experience. Have a look here. This is a raglan sleeve. Of course I will stitch it together and get just one sleeve. I just want to show you that it can be a whole piece sleeve. This part can be a tuck. The tuck would end here in this case. Now I have the back and the half of the sleeve, as well as the front with the half of the sleeve. It was made perfectly, because it was made of the perfect pattern. Now I'm gonna put on a top made on the basis of the basic pattern. I'm not going to show you how I cut and sew this item. This is the blouse made on the basis of this pattern. I have 5 centimeters here a 10 cm opening here, and the raglan sleeves. I've also added the lace to it. You can see how the raglan sleeve looks like from the back. Notice that the front and the sleeves are covered with the lace. The back was made of silk. I'm telling you once again, practice makes perfect. That's all for today. Be different. My name is Irina. Subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.